All right, this is Block 7, The Greatest Generation, Section 2, Rise of the Dictators with the Spanish Civil War. Spain was run by a corrupt republic in 1936, and as we've already seen, fascist Francisco Franco led what was termed the nationalist side against the loyalist side. That was kind of the Republican government that was in place. Franco's rebels are known as the nationalists. They are aided by Hitler and Mussolini, while the loyalists are aided by Stalin and progressives from all over the world. The isolationist United States put an arms embargo on both sides, that American money, weapons, etc., could not be sold to either side of the Spanish Civil War, either the legitimate but corrupt loyalist government or to the German and Italian-supported nationalist government. Hitler and Mussolini look at this and they say that the United States is obviously against any intervention in Europe whatsoever, and they act and think accordingly. Franco and his nationalists win, inaugurating fascist rule in Spain, but the Spanish Civil War is infamous for one really important reason. This picture here, this is a picture of the bombed-out city of Guernica. The Spanish Civil War saw the first example of mass terror bombing by military aircraft on civilians. That civilians living in their homes were just randomly, mercilessly, and directly bombed by the enemy Air Force. And this had never happened in war. Beforehand, war was between armies, and civilians might die, but civilians, had to get kind of caught up in the way, caught in the middle of the conflict to be in the line of fire. 1937, this bombing of Guernica, and World War II, civilians are going to be the front line. And in fact, throughout World War II, more civilians are killed than soldiers. Many millions by aerial bombing, like the one inaugurated in 1937 in Guernica. The loyalist side was aided by a group of Americans who volunteered to fight for the loyalist side. They were known as the Abraham Lincoln Brigade. They were a group of progressive and communist Americans who felt very strongly about the anti-German and anti-Italian work that the Spanish loyalists were doing, and they formed a brigade called the Abraham Lincoln Brigade, and there's a bunch of them there, and they went to Spain and volunteered to fight for the loyalist side. They were small in number but popular in the press, and obviously did not make any difference in the outcome of the war, but it did show that not all Americans were against involving themselves in the affairs of foreign countries.